All right, everybody, we're pretty short and sweet today. We're going to have a couple presentations. Marcy's going to start us off about placing photos inside of text. So go ahead and take it away, Marcy.
All right. Hey, guys. Let's see. Okay, can you see the screen that says space on it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm going to show you guys how to insert a photo into text. It's really important when you're going to choose your font that you choose the right sort of typeface. There are some things you want to consider when you're choosing a typeface, like the shape of the character you want to fill with an image and the weight of it, whether it's thick enough to allow the image you've chosen to show through sufficiently, and the simplicity of the characters, no textures or any serifs or anything like that. It just makes it easier to see the picture come through. If you do something like this for our papers, use one of the two fonts, Lato or Josephine Sans Bold. I've chosen Black Lato for this one. It's just bigger. I like it. It seems to show through more graphic. The first thing you want to do after you've gotten your text to be the right size with the photo that you've chosen is you select it with your black arrow tool and you create outlines. And you can do that by going up to Type, the Type menu at the top, and go to Create Outlines. Or you can use Control-Shift-O. I don't do it often enough to remember the shortcut, so I always go up to the menu.
Hey, Marcy. I think presenting, are you showing us in InDesign your step-by-step? I think you may have presented the wrong screen.
Oh, no. Yeah, I haven't done much. I'll start that over again. Hold on.
No problem.
Thanks. Let's see. So I will stop presenting and then start up again. There we go. Okay, this is live now, isn't it? Okay, so I'll create outlines of this text. I'll show you. So you take your black arrow tool and select it and go up to the Type menu and go down to Create Outlines or Control-Shift-O. The text frame will adjust slightly and the character is now a vector shape. So next thing you're going to want to do is decide where you want your type placed on your photo and where you want your photo to show through. That looks about right. And then next I'm going to take a white box. I'm going to place it between the text and the photo. Next step is to select your photo with your direct selection tool and copy, Control-C. And pick your text, select it with your black arrow, and go up to Edit and select Paste Into or Control-Alt-V. This will make sure that the graphic that is behind your text in your white box will duplicate inside of your text and will match up. So if you want to, you can move the photo inside of the box or inside of the text with your white arrow tool. Say you want to just shift it or you have some other idea in mind. It's totally movable like an image, like that. But then the final step, if you're just going to leave it as this, is to select your text or your vector image and take away any fill. Give it a fill of none so that you don't have any color from behind it bleeding beyond your graphic. And so there you have it. Pretty simple. Are there any questions?
So your white box is just as a design element to kind of have, that's what's having that stick out.
Yeah, yes, because I mean, there have been times I'll color the box, perhaps, get a color from the graphic itself and maybe fill it with something else just to give it some sort of depth or what have you. You can play around a lot with it, but if you don't have the box there, you don't even know that it's working. so it's just kind of a crutch in some ways, or a design element, whatever you want to do with it. But
Because yeah, I guess if you just wanted the space text with the image, you would just delete your background and your white box.
yes, yeah, you could totally do that. Just there you go.
Cool.
So it's just a nice placeholder, and then do whatever you want to with it afterwards. Because once you have this text with the image inside of it, you can move it independently. It doesn't change the placement of the photo at all inside of it, which is nice. So
I see. So it's like a completely separate frame. It's just
Mhm.
for the text.
Yep.
That's pretty sick.
Yep. It's slick. I used to just duplicate the back box, the back picture twice, and then mess around with it by doing this and going up like this. But it's a lot easier just to put a white box there as opposed to managing, several photos that you need to keep locked in place. So, and often if I do this sort of a treatment to a page and I'm sending it to proofing, I'll lock these elements because it's really easy to knock them out of place, the background or even just this. And it, depending on the photo you're using, it might make a big difference if they got moved. So I'll lock them. They can't change the text anyway. So if they had a problem with some sort of type error or something, it would have to come back to me anyhow. So just kind of a fail safe.
That's a really good point, and I don't think most copy desk staff know how to unlock items, or maybe they were told that they weren't supposed to. So
Right.
I can't edit it. Someone help.
Right. I need your help. Okay. Happy to help. Thanks. So, yeah. But anything else? Any other questions?
If anyone's typing, I was just going to point out that this is a really good chance to utilize our image library that we have on the server. We have a bunch of images, and maybe not specifically like this, but for holidays, me, Joe, and Michael and Alicia are filling that as often as possible. We're going in and downloading a whole bunch, so there's quite a plethora to choose from if you're doing something like this or on a features page or a centerpiece and whatnot. That is available to you. I'll include the location again in the email that gets sent out after this. But thank you, Marcy. Thank you for going over that with us today.
Yeah, thanks. See ya.
Okay, and then Becca is actually getting what's the right word? Wow, words are hard. They're not varied enough, trying to keep them interesting, switching them up more. They're kind of more cookie cutter. So Becca's going to show us some ways to get some various layouts and design. Take it away, Becca.
Thank you, Emma. All right. Let me see. Present a window into my soul. We'll do this one. All right. Let me minimize this. Okay. Can you guys see this archive?
A black box.
Black box. Darn it. Oh yeah, it is just a black box. Maybe I did the wrong one. Stop sharing. Your entire screen. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Can you see it now?
Yes.
I think that's it. Can you see the archive now?
Yes.
Okay. So I can't remember when it was in the last couple months. I went through and I wanted to look at a page from like last year or something. And I went and I looked and I saw all these national or Nation Plus pages. And I was like, oh, they all looked pretty much the same. As you can see here, a lot of them have the blue feature. And then that's like February. Here's March, and here's like 4 different blue ones here. Are still hidden. Can you not see?
I can see the archive.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Yep,
Inside.
they're supposed to see that. And then I saw like this one was basically like 5 days in a row. It had almost the exact same layout. So, so I said something to Alicia, and she asked me to just kind of remind you guys exactly the different kind of things that we can do with this page. So here is, can you see this one now, getting to the bottom of it? Anybody?
Yeah, I saw it. Now I see
Okay.
anything. Yep, you're good.
Okay. Sorry, I have to have like 5 different screens open. So here's basically pretty much kind of the exact same layout that every page is. And it's, it's a nice looking page. It has different colors and different design elements, different fonts, and it grabs your attention. But if we have them the same every single day, people aren't going to really read them or pay attention to actually what the story is. So I just wanted to quickly show you guys, remind you, we have, these are the headline options for fonts that we have. Utopia, HWT Slab, and then Poster Gothic has these 4 different variations. You can kind of see that it's kind of heavy, in all of these. So maybe, I don't know, Alicia, Emma, we want to come up with maybe another one that's, thinner like this or something. I don't know. Maybe we want to play around with that. But yeah, these are just the, in case you guys forgot, that these are the fonts that are available to us for this page. So I just wanted to quickly kind of show you exactly, make sure and remind everyone the different things that we do have in our Nation Plus library. One of the big things is colors. As you guys saw on that one thing, is that almost every single one of those like triangle boxes was blue, and just want to remind you, it doesn't have to be blue. I mean, there's all these bright, colors that we can use to jazz up any, story that we have. So I'm gonna leave those there. So those are good ones. Obviously the graphic shapes, a lot of people use this one, which is great. But you can also use it in different ways. And I'll show you what I mean by that. And then we all probably know exactly how, the different options of headlines and stuff and different layouts, graphic, arrows and that kind of stuff. So as you saw with the other page, usually there's one main centerpiece, another one, and then 2 other lesser ones on the bottom. So, and usually I noticed that it's usually this one on the right. So like this time we'll put it on the left, and we can copy over our text, put it in here, get it all set up, and the great thing is just because this is blue, this is how it came in. It doesn't have to be blue. It can be whatever color it wants to be. So let's see, I'm gonna go with green, but that green's gonna be too much. So we're just gonna go down and make it kind of like a minty green or something. So there's that one, then you can take other ones and we'll put this one over here and get all these set up. Nice thing of what you can do is, because we're all dang talented graphic artists, is that we can have a little fun with this. I mean, it can still be, on a regular grid, and easy to read, for, excuse me, a design, the readers and stuff, but yeah, we can still have a little fun with it and create some different things with our eyes. So let's see, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to make it to this. Just that little bit, you know, can be such a big difference. We'll take this, we'll bring Lato into it because that's always a good secondary one, you know, and the thing with this is you can either, you know, bring it in here and bring it, you know, up like this or something, or you can make this into a circle or something like that, you know. I mean, just switching sides, or, you know, if it's really, you know, sometimes the photos are different, you know, they have a really weird, you know, it's hard to fit a photo like this in a space, or sometimes just vertical weird photos and stuff. I mean, don't be afraid to, you know, put this one in the middle. You know, this is kind of a nice section divider kind of a thing, you know, where this can just go in the middle, and then we'll just put this one here on the bottom, and then you kind of have 3 different tiers. Bing, bang, boom, right here, you know. And one thing too, like I see a lot of these divider lines, which we are used to having and everything, but I don't really think, I mean, for me personally, don't really think necessarily it's necessary, because, I mean, this separation sidebar kind of box is kind of the divider, you know, this is this story, the rest of it, you know, is this other story. So, I mean, I guess it depends on your comfortableness about that, but you could do that too. And for like a main story, you know, a great thing is that people are using these graphics in here, but don't be afraid to play around with them, you know. Use this. Let's see. We'll just do something like this, and then take this up here and flip it. And I don't want these colors. I want this red one. And this one's going to be orange because those two go well together. And we can do this. And, you know, it's just fun to play around with it. I have to put that to the back. But that's what's really nice about this kind of a page, because it's kind of still, you know, it's still newsy, but yet you can still do different things with it. And what the heck did I just do? There we go. I mean, you can do different things still with it, and say, let's want this one to, another good thing to like jazz up a photo is make it into a circle. That always makes it so much more appealing. You know, instead of just having it right in the middle of the story, you know, 5 across and this and that, you know, I mean, it just adds a little something different into each of the layout, you know. I mean, it doesn't have to be all that complicated. It can be really simple shapes or different colors like these. And don't be afraid to, you know, use some of your own different shapes and stuff like that that you guys do on all the pages that we have. So I just wanted to remind everyone to try and maybe not do, I mean, we can still use, obviously, the great, you know, starter headlines and everything like that. But maybe if you do take them from here, just maybe make sure to change the color, or maybe change the font or the way of the font or something, just so that we can have it not look the exact same every day. So it's easier for our readers to know that this is a new page. So that is all I have to say on that. Anybody there?
Thank you, Becca. That was helpful.
Okay.
I know when we first started doing those Nation Plus pages, there was a lot going on. We were asking you to do something different. And I'm hoping that when you're working on them, you've got a little bit more time now that you can, you know, do what Becca's just went over, and make sure you're changing the colors and things like that. You know, remember that the goal of those is to have them look, you know, really eye-catching and more magazine-y than our normal styles. So definitely one to have fun with. Obviously, there's a degree to which keeping in tone in mind is still important, but we can break outside the box more with those than we can with our normal newspaper styles. So does anybody have any questions or anything in general to discuss while we're out here? All right, well then, thank you all for your time. You can go ahead and get back to work. Enjoy the rest of your day.